Hey, brothers and sisters, found another clip of Charlie, and I think this one will be interesting. It's very topical right now after Jimmy Kimmel just got fired. Everyone is screaming about censorship in America and how we all have free speech, but if you're on the left, you can't have free speech anymore, which is kind of funny because they've been canceling people for years on the right. Roseanne Barr, they dropped Trump's Twitter account and Facebook account, I think. Now, freedom of speech is a problem. Like it hasn't been for like the last 10 years. So here is a student who's really going to talk to Charlie about censorship. And I haven't watched this yet, but I just thought it was about censorship and free speech. So let's see how this goes and let's see what we think.
So, we all know the left has a censorship problem. Do you think the right has the same problem as the left in regards to censorship? For example, banning professors from talking about critical race theory in class.
Well, banning and then not having as part of your curriculum are two different things. So curriculum is what is different than freedom of speech, correct? Because curriculum is actually what's voted upon and what you're tested on. So no, critical race theory should not be in the curriculum of taxpayer-funded schools.
But do you think, if a professor wants to include it, shouldn't it be their free speech?
A professor can say what they want, but inversely, do you think we should subsidize the teaching of eugenics?
You know what? That's a good point. I'm going to talk about it like that.
For example, if there was a science teacher here funded by taxpayers and said he thinks that Hitler was right, should we put up with that?
Probably not.
Yeah, he has a right to say it, but we also have a right to no longer fund that as taxpayers and say that we shouldn't be in our curriculum.
That made a lot of sense now.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this guy's interesting. He's got a No Nazis t-shirt on, and he's got a Make America Great hat again. I'm thinking Charlie must have thrown him that hat. And I think Charlie's spot on this one. I'm sure this one is going to be taken out of context, and people will say Charlie was a racist because he's against critical race theory. But this video is not really about that. This video is more about what should we be teaching in our schools. And I think Charlie is spot on this. You do have your free speech, but there are certain things we want taught in our schools. If you're an engineer, right, and you go to Texas A&M, I did this. The very first math class in the curriculum is Calculus 1. You don't get to take algebra and geometry for credit if you're an engineer. And so schools publish a course catalog that says if you take these courses, and here's the course descriptions, then you can get that engineering degree. And the same professors also have to teach to a syllabus. So they have to turn in a syllabus that says, here's the outline of what I'm going to teach this semester. And all of that has to be approved by someone. And I don't know how that works, but it's the faculty or the administration or I don't know. But it's approved. So this is the approved curriculum. So if you want to teach something like critical race theory, like eugenics, like Hitler was good, you would have to get that into the approved curriculum. And if you can do that for that coursework, then that's great. But professors don't have the free speech to just talk about anything they want. For me, the most egregious example of this, and it's not professors, is in Canada. After Charlie Kirk was tragically killed, one of the teachers teaching his 10th grade students decided to talk to his students about this. I'm not sure that was a good idea, but I wasn't there, so okay. But the way he talked about it, people didn't like. He played the shooting video over and over and over for 10-year-olds and then said how the guy deserved it and explained to the kids how they deserve it. That's what I understand. I think the guy's been suspended. I don't think he's been fired yet. I don't know. If I'm a parent, I don't want my kids being taught that when they're 10. If you're a student or a parent that's funding your child's education in some way, you should have a say in what gets taught. And I think the processes are there. Charlie is spot on here. Once you reviewed that curriculum and syllabus, you can decide whether you want to be in that class. Professors should not be teaching that stuff that's not approved by the school to be taught for that particular course of study. So I think this one was spot on. Let me know what you guys think. Like and subscribe if you do. If you don't, then don't watch me. Thanks. Bye.